Man, I hate playing a fleshed out game with high graphics and a controller with proper feedback. I wish I could play this game on a vertical brick with one hand and almost twice the bullshit. Wow, I didn't know Nintendo would stoop this low. Nintendo is one of the stingiest companies with its IPs, but strangely enough, they will put these IPs on phones. This is probably because of a little thing known as cash. I mean, it makes sense. Everybody knows what a Mario is, and everyone has a cell phone. So you put these two things together, and you, my friend, have a money-making elephant. I don't know why I used that analogy. So it's almost a no-brainer to put one of the more top-selling Mario games on the device that almost everyone has. And while the game isn't technically out yet, there was a closed beta held for this game, which I, thankfully, was chosen to play upon. It's probably because I'm so cool and loyal.
Anyone was able to sign up for the beta and you were just lucky to get in.
Do you always have to ruin the fun for me?
You're going to ruin the fun for yourself seeing as you're not allowed to share gameplay you've recorded.
Well, computer, I don't have to break the rules since others have already broken them for me.
You're still breaking the rules by talking about it.
Shut up. This doesn't mean I condone this kind of behavior, it just means that I'll be using the leaked footage as a way to reference what I'm saying. So even though it is still in beta right now, how does Mario Kart play on phones? Well, one thing you might have noticed is that the game takes a note from Instagram TV and plays in portrait mode. This means you're not controlling your driver like in other mobile racing games. Here, you're using only one hand to steer, accelerate, and use items. While most people might look at that and say it's actually fucking stupid, I think otherwise. Mario Kart does cater towards the casual crowd. It's no wonder as to why they would make the game the most accessible on the device most people have. But that's just the controls. What about the racing, the characters, the items, and the divorced files? You can't really have a Mario Kart game without all those things. Well, thankfully, they're still held up here. The racing is the same old Mario Kart. You got the 50 to 150cc as always. From what I played, it seems like there are no new tracks to race on, just the ones from previous games. This doesn't mean that the whole thing is one big classic cup, as there are certain buffs you can have when racing on these tracks. For each character, kart, and glider you select, there is a 3-tier structure. For characters you select, the highest tier can have 3 item slots, while the bottom tier can only have 1. This 3-item box makes it so if you get 3 of the same items, you'll go into a frenzy, becoming invincible and being able to throw an infinite amount of those items. It's like when I put on 3 hats, I become invincible! Ah, fuck. Oh, that hurt. With karts, it's how much of a speed boost you'll get, and with gliders, it's how much luck you'll have with getting an item. But having the highest tier shit doesn't mean diddly dick because of one thing. Its point value. You see, each character, kart, and glider has a point value. This is for grading your performance in the race. Things like drifting, hitting someone with an item, gliding, stunt jumping, and using an item will increase your points. Even the place you come in can have an impact on how many points you receive. The higher you place, the higher points you'll get. You need high points in order to get grand stars to unlock things. This includes characters, karts, and even more racetracks. While in the beginning it can be a little easy to rank up these points, later on it gets pretty freaking hard. This is mostly because a high point value can be hard to get if you don't have the high tier characters to get through the race. This can also be because these point values make it so you can't make a mistake in your race, which is already hard to do due to the pure nature of Mario Kart. At some points it can be bullshit, but it's not as bullshit as the way you obtain characters within this game. In Mario Kart Tour, you can unlock these characters just by earning enough grand stars or by using the gacha system. This is the same system used by Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Here you are paying 5 emeralds to shoot an item out of a pipe. These items include characters, karts, and the gliders. But don't worry, you can get doubles of characters you already have. So if you were hoping to get that super rare Metal Mario so you can have a better time on that one track, too fucking bad. You got Luigi again, bitch. Why is it always Luigi? But you see, the system itself isn't really the problem. It's what you pay to use this system. As I stated earlier, you use emeralds to shoot the shit out of a pipe. To get these emeralds, you can play the game and hope to get them through level ups and grand star gifts. Or in the final release, you'll be able to get them through microtransactions. Microtransactions. Yo, fuck getting V-Bucks from that Bork Knight. I need these emeralds for that dry Bowser so I can play the game better. This isn't pay to win. No. This is pay to thrive, baby. Who thought this was a good idea? But I think the biggest offense comes from the dumbest thing that could have been added within this game. Hearts.
But aren't health upgrades important?
No. Not health hearts. Stamina hearts. Why in a racing game would you make it so there's a limited amount of times a player can play? That's like telling an octopus it can only use 3 of its 8 fucking limbs. It just doesn't make sense. This isn't Candy Crush. This is fucking Mario Kart. Why limit me as to how much I can do? I just can't even fathom as to why they thought this was a good idea. Like, I get it, it's not a full Mario Kart game, but at least let me play Diet Mario Kart for as long as I want without having to worry about running out of any fucking moves. So all in all, what would I have to say about Mario Kart Tour? I mean, it's a pretty faithful Mario Kart game for smartphones, just there are some things that need some serious adjusting. I am happy that Nintendo did a closed beta for this game. While many people did break the disclosure agreement, including me, I think it was still a great idea to do this. The feedback is necessary and the criticism is there from both people who played this beta and people who've seen it. The game does feel complete even though it's still in beta form. It's solid and I don't see any glitches or bugs, but I see problems with the fact that they're seeing it as a mobile Mario Kart instead of a Mario Kart for mobile devices. The gameplay is there, but the microtransactions and the limited amount of plays really do hurt this game. Like I said, this is still only just the beta, so all of this could change. I hope Nintendo does listen to this feedback and learns how they should handle their version of phone games. But knowing Nintendo, they'll just get rid of this video and I'll be banned from any further beta testing. I'm the only one to blame for that, I know, but it's hard for me not to talk about this stuff publicly when I already feel that my voice as a consumer isn't being heard. I do hope that in the future Nintendo can lighten up about these things and we can share what we have, because I'd like to live in a world where we can share about this stuff instead of keeping it a secret.
Too late, fuckboy. Nintendo blocked you.
Well, shit.